Right. Okay, let's see now.
Ah, gee.
Here we are. Good man, John Duffy. Now, welcome. My name is Matt Dobbs. This is the Matt Dobbs Experience. I think I'm going to go with that name. My mates all suggested it, and I like it. I don't want it to sound arrogant, but that's not the intention at all. It's sort of, this is my experience. Does that make sense? Like, you're joining with me in the experience. I don't know. So basically, who I am is I'm a photographer, videographer, video editor, and I work almost exclusively around drifting. So this year I've done a lot of the Irish Drift series. I've done all the DriftMasters. I've done LZ World Tour stuff. I've worked with like some really, really cool people. I've met some amazing people, made some really good friends, the whole thing. And so I think the podcast is largely going to be a way for me to chat about that, a way for me to share those experiences, a way for me to have a laugh about it, and also just chat absolute muck because I enjoy doing it. So if you enjoy listening to that, then fair play to you. I definitely want to have guests on and stuff. I can do that. Like, I've got this new Roadcaster here, which I'm very excited about. There's Harry Kerr. You can do cool soundboards, which is going to be, which I'm going to enjoy. But also, I can take a couple of guests and we can just chat and see what happens. At the minute, I'm just sitting in my office here, chatting muck to myself. But that's it. This episode, it's just going to be an introduction. Introduction. Easy for me to say. Like, I don't want to go too in depth because I don't want to sit here. I don't want to bore myself. Never mind boring you, the listener or viewer or whatever you're seeing this on. I want to introduce who I am and sort of plans for this, but I'll try to keep it, what's the word? I don't know. Try and keep it to the point. I don't know. Run with me here. So, yeah, basically, the idea is just, I don't know how often I'll do this. Might be, I suppose it could be weekly. I don't know. There's a lot, like, the problem is, there's a lot I could chat about, and I chat endlessly. I mean, you could stop there, but I chat about a lot about drifting, and it is literally my entire life now. And so that's what I want to chat about and share those sort of fun stories. But also, like, the problem is I have a notes app full of all these ideas, mostly for like Instagram reels and stuff for my own socials, whatever, of all these fun ideas to do, and I never do them. And I'm sure someone could, I don't know if it's a diagnosis thing, but there's probably I don't know, there's a reason in there somewhere. But a lot of it is just time. Like, in fairness now, in my defense, a lot of my time spent working like for other clients. So obviously, like, I'm, my focus is there. My time's there. Like, I don't want to, I want to do the best job I can for them. So, but with that, I mean, there's a lot of ideas, like things that, and I can chat about that. Like, there's a lot of ideas, such as, like, people will come and ask me, oh, how do you get into this? Or how did I get into this? Or how can they start doing something like this? Or how can they get media access, the whole thing? And I want to share that because I wouldn't say I didn't have that help. But, there's a lot of things I had to figure out by myself. And I want to sort of help people with that if I can. So, at no point is it me, you should never take anything I'm saying here as gospel, but also never as like me claiming to be an expert. A lot of what I chat about will be experience that I've learnt either the hard way or learnt through other people. It's sort of, shared experience like that. But, even just going through my head now, there's a whole lot that we could chat about over the next few while, which I'm really excited about. Like, in general, I'm very excited about this podcast, this whatever it may be. I'm just, the solo podcast thing is weird to me. I don't want to do that very often. Like, I'll be honest, this is about the fourth time, maybe more, that I've started recording, because I just started going into it and being like, right, I'm trying to do too much here for one episode. I just want to do, this is like a part 0. This is just an introduction. Here's who I am, wham bam, and sort of what the idea is. Does that make sense? Yeah, like, there's with social media, it's, how do I explain it? Like, it's something I think I'm getting into my stride now with my own socials. Like, there's things that are, kind of figuring out what does well for me, and a lot of it's just like it's really fun. Like, I really enjoy all that. And there's a massive backup, like a backup of content I have from shooting a whole year of drifting, which is great. So there's loads of ideas I have for the future, for all sorts, like for not only for this podcast, but for all sorts of social media ideas. And a lot of which is with my own car, because I did a wee video. I'm not sure if you saw it. It was on my I posted it everywhere really. Matt Dobbs Media. Shout out. And like, it's done really well. Like, I sort of thought, I think this could do well, because like I sort of, I did all the right things, so to speak. But basically, there's things like that can get a load of comments, and that's great. Like, I love starting that kind of discussion, because like even YouTube Shorts, which for me never really does well, it had a whole load of comments, and it was a slow start on TikTok, but it's now doing very well. But like, a whole load of people were commenting basically what wheels I should put on the car. That was what the video was about. So thank you for them. And that's made me really excited, because I'm like, right, okay, I've like, there's something really cool I can do with this. So my car, it's a 2001 B5 A4 Avant, and it's class. I think it's called Pelican Blue. I'm certain it is, because I always thought it was Kingfisher Blue, and everyone will always be like, oh, is that Kingfisher Blue? It sounds way cooler as Kingfisher, but it isn't. It's Pelican Blue. But anyway, I got the car 2 years ago, and I've done about 36,000 miles in it now. But if you're my insurance company, no, I have not. Like, it's been class, and I've never really done anything to it. There's a set of budget coilovers in it, and that's about it. Like, I've corrected the paint, I've ceramic coated it, the whole thing, and like, it looks, I'm very pleased with how it looks. I mean, for a near 25-year-old car, it looks pretty dead on. But I've never really like put my own stamp on it, so to speak. So that's why I sort of opened that discussion about, right, what wheels should I put on it? Because I want to change it up a bit. I want to make it like OEM plus, just a cool dealie, because it's like, I really, really love that car. Like, I've owned a few cars now, and there's only been one that I've hated, but I'll come back to that. I've loved them all, but this car just, it just does everything well. It's my first ever estate car. I've never had a wagon before, as it were, but this is classic. It's been a hotel. It's very comfy to sleep in. Like, you can completely put the seats flat, put in an airbed, the whole thing. Like, I mean, it's like it's a big bed. Like, it's class. I've slept in it a few times. It's been a podcast studio. It's been just a general daily. Like, I've driven it all over Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales. It has been a camera car. Like, it just works, and it doesn't really ask for much. Like, it's an old PD. Anyone who knows them knows, like, they're a bloody good engine. Like, this, a bit of servicing. I'll Harry Care himself serviced it last time, God help us all. And it's just, yeah, class. So I'm really excited to like do wee bits and pieces to it. And the fact that people are like excited to see it, like a load of comments were like, all the comments were positive. Everyone's like, oh, there's such a class car. Oh, it looks class. Like, it looks well. And yeah, that's made me really, really excited. And same with this podcast. Like, I've always wanted to do this kind of thing again, but it sort of took almost a bit of a push from some mates to be like them wanting to hear me chat absolute muck. I mean, listen, I don't think they're wise. There must be a wee want in them, but like, fair play to them. That kind of thing, sometimes I find you have to kind of put yourself out there to, how do you put it, like, to get that response. Like, when you can have all the, like I said at the start, like, I have all these ideas, and me writing them in a notes app is great, just so that I remember them, or I'll never remember them. Now, I don't know what half of them mean, because I forget. Like, I'll write something random and forget what it means. But anyway, chatting about those ideas, explaining it to people who like might not even fully, like, it doesn't have to be someone who knows exactly what you mean, or someone who's into this kind of media or whatever. Just putting the ideas out there, chatting about them. Someone will go, well, hang on, what about this? Or what about that way? And that's what I really enjoy. Do you know what I mean? Like, having that chat and sort of getting that out there. It, like, as I say, it means people can like bouncing ideas off other people is what will help you massively. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's what I want to do with that car. Literally starting with wheels. I'm not gonna go mad. Like the idea is just to be OEM plus. Like again, I drive it a lot. Like I want to do, I think 17-inch wheels because there's 16s on it at the minute, just wee factory wheels, and I really like them. And don't get me wrong, some people said keep them, just maybe like set spacers, lower it more, and that would work. But I kind of know what I want as well. So yeah, there's a whole lot I could do with that. And I've always said like there's loads of YouTube ideas and stuff, but I'm sort of, I wouldn't say I'm moving away from that, but I know that a lot of stuff's short form now. A lot of my experience is in short form, to the point where I enjoy going back every now and then to like the longer vlog stuff, because it's kind of a different world. There's a lot you can do with it. But yeah, in general, I really enjoy what I do. So I think a lot of that, like the fact that I even can feel the need to sit here and chat about it, maybe that says a lot. Because there's other jobs I've had where, like, you know, people say to you, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'm like, "I work in a pizza shop," and like,
Jesus.
I don't want to chat about that. Whereas as soon as anyone says now, like, "Oh, what do you do?" Yourself, I hear. What do you tell you? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Do you know what I mean? Like, Jesus, like, I'm like, if you know me in person, or whatever, I'm not even sorry, because this is what I chat about all the time. But it's because it's fun. I really enjoy it. Oh, that's a good cup of tea. We're sponsored by, no, we're not. But it is. It's nice tea. But yeah, I nearly want to like hold myself back, because again, this is only to be like a quick intro. I don't want to start like I could start into so many funny stories. Do you know what I mean? Wee anecdotes and fun moments from throughout the year. But I just, yeah, it's I'm really excited in general. Like I'm excited about this new Roadcaster. It's class. I've got my wee soundboards. I can have guests. I can do the whole thing. Like it's so cool. That's what I've always wanted. This nice wee microphone. Like I'm a firm believer in like working with what you've got. Like this is not a fancy setup. I'm sure you're maybe looking at it thinking, yeah, I know. But like this was a secondhand Roadcaster. This is a cheap clone microphone, and my phone is literally sitting there recording me. And I'm using my laptop to kind of, that's why I'm looking over here, because I can see what the phone sees, just to make sure it all looks okay. So yeah, a lot of what I do is you know, surrounds that whole philosophy. But that's just how it goes. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know how frequent this will be, but I have a lot of plans for guests. Some like there's a lot of, I'm glad to say I know a lot of drivers now. I know a lot of you know, really interesting media people. Like in general, just there's so much scope for this. I'm not saying for it to be the biggest thing ever. Like, see if I get a handful of listeners, Jesus, I'll be over the moon. Like I you know, I'm just, even like I said with the recent video in my own car, like for people to be as excited about something, you know, that I'm interested in, that's class. Like that's a huge reward in itself. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm very excited with where things are at, even with my own content now. I mean, in terms of like work, I feel like I'm in a really good spot now where I'm working with some really, really good people. There's some really good opportunities that I've had the whole year and are continuing to come my way. And like, I'm really, really glad of that. I'm really thankful. But also, even just for my own personal stuff, my own sort of content, excuse me, there's loads I have ideas for, and there's loads that like I can actually sort of pull my finger out and do. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll see where it takes us. But it's, yeah, I'm very excited. But I'll maybe leave you with a wee funny story. Just a wee treat. You take this home to yourself. So I mean, there's so many fun stories from this year, because like traveling all over Europe with some of your best friends, like you're gonna have some crack. So one that instantly comes out to mind, and it's just, yeah, it'll always get me. We were in Germany, Brad and I, at Image B, and we've travelled around a lot this year, and I think he's probably listening to this thinking you're talking a lot of nonsense, but like I think we've become quite good friends, and if he doesn't think so, well, tough shit. So we stayed in this wee, like, I thought the hotel was dead on. I can't remember his words exactly, but he didn't think it was as great. And to be fair, it was 36 degree heat, and there was no aircon. So I mean that was rough going. Like I've scarcely felt heat like it. It was, oh my god, it was desperate. Like Ferropolis, the city of iron, like it's a big dusty bowl. It's an old quarry, where basically they let the lake around it, like they obviously they dug around an island basically, and then once they were all done, they let that flood, so there's a big lake around it. And then in the middle, there's like the old cranes are still there. They run a drift track around it. They run live music events. Like it's class. It's literally the coolest place I've ever been. But there's not a lot around it. You know, it'd be fair to say. Like from Berlin, you have to drive a couple of hours down the autobahn, and then there's sort of not much there. But like the food there was class and all. You know, if you got food at the track, oh, you're in for a treat. I mean, there was every type of, like, you name it. And and it was good. Like I had this like a Mexican beef burrito bowl. Oh, bugger me senseless. Like it was class. It was just
jeez.
Like I'm still thinking about it. Anyway, there was one time, like it's not all glitz and glam. You're usually you're working long enough hours. Like you could be 14 hours at the track, and it's all great. But like you know, it is what it is. So see, when you get back, you're tired, you're hungry, you're ready to you're ready to eat. So we were driving back to our hotel in the middle of nowhere, mind you. Like we were looking for anything that was open. Sure, McDonald's wasn't that shut. We were looking at like filling stations. Sure, weren't they closed? They wouldn't have had much anyway. Like it was like, tiny wee places. There was not a thing. And finally, we gave up. We got back to the hotel and we thought, oh, class, vending machine in the reception. Sure, unreal. Card machine broken. And so the Kit Kat junkies were sitting there laughing at us. And so what did Brad and I have for our dinner at midnight? But half a Ribena each. Half a bottle of juice each for our dinner at midnight. So that was that. So, yes, it's great crack. Is it all glitz and glam? No. But sure, listen. But I think, yeah, 23 minutes odd. I think we'll cut her there because, again, I this is an episode 0. This is putting out the feelers. I want to have guests. Hopefully more often than not. It depends. Well, it depends on a lot of things. But again, for future with this, I'm excited because I see that there's loads that I could do. Because, for example, like, now, Ryanair might not be so happy with it, but like, I could bring this Roadcaster with me, a couple of mics, wherever I'm going. Sure, if I get an hour to set up and chat and muck with someone, you know. Yeah, there's a lot I can see doing there. I don't want to give too much away, you know, because I kind of there's some stuff I want to keep to myself. You know, there's some stuff I want to be excited about and pull it out at the last minute. You know, was it the 19th hour? Is that what they say? Is that a phrase? I'm gonna look that up when I get off this. There's something like that's at the somethingth hour. Leave it in the comments below. I don't know. So I'll see you soon, I think is where we'll cut it. This has been probably the Matt Dobbs experience. I don't know. Listen, leave a comment. Send me a message, whatever. Oh, no, I'll tell you a lie. Here, I have questions. Jesus, I forgot all about that. I have questions. Now, a lot of them, in fairness, are from like Instagram stories that I never got around to answering. So if one of these are you, I do apologize. So yeah, here, let's get into these. So we have Andy Green Photography. Hello, Andy. What was the standout round and standout moment of the season for you? So I would say, honestly, the standout round was probably Germany, because I had never been to Germany and I'd never been to Ferropolis, but I knew, like, everyone was like, oh, it's classic, it's amazing, it's unreal. And I expected it to be good, but I wasn't quite sure how good it would be. And it was just the coolest place I have ever been. Like, it's mental. I wouldn't even say it was my absolute favourite round. It was close. Like, it was really, really good. It's just such a mind-boggling place. Like, there's these massive big cranes. The way it's all set up, like, it's a big drift festival. That's what they call it. Like, everyone's in and out of the lake swimming the whole time because it was so hot. And we had, like, just all the different sort of bars around the place. See the fizzy apples, class. And all the different food places. And it was just so much fun. Just the atmosphere. I've always said, like, the drifting and the level of driving at DriftMasters especially is, I mean, it's absolutely mind-bending. It is the best in the world. without a doubt. But it's the people I come back for, and it's the crack. Like we have such a laugh, and everyone has been just so good to me and accommodating this year. But on that, I would say the standout moment of the season would be for me personally, was in Finland. See, it was like a day or two before I was going out. Basically, there was a bit of an issue with accommodation, and it was a bit of a nightmare. For someone as anxious as me, I was like, right, last minute, I was ready to pull the plug and be like, well, I'm not going, because like there was nowhere to stay. It was a whole thing. And I just happened to put a message in the Drift Chat Discord. And like, I sort of said, look, if anyone's able to help me out, I'll give you a load of money to like stay with you, whatever. Like if anyone can help, if not, it's totally fine. And I mean like that. I had a whole load of messages. I had Jyrki from Black Smoke Racing, as in like actual literal Black Smoke Racing. Probably my favorite drifting team in the world. Like imagine Manchester United says to you, here, come on up and stay with us, sure. I was like, here, right ahead, go ahead, big man. So, class, so like, come on. So I flew to Helsinki, took a 4-hour train north to Kokkola, and stayed at Black Smoke Racing. That's a whole episode in itself I could do, because my God, that was just the coolest thing I've ever seen. I mean, getting a tour around their workshop, getting to see, like, the cars that I had, like, you know, my mind was blown over on YouTube and all this here. Like, my mate and I used to sit and watch these videos flat out, seeing all these cars in person, seeing around the place, meeting the guys, and my God, they couldn't have been more accommodating. Like, I sort of thought, I might feel like a bit of a spare prick here, a bit of a spare part. Not at all. They couldn't have been better, and we had, we were in the sauna at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and we had it was such a laugh. So much fun. I nearly want to do an episode just on that, because honestly, like, it was class. And then it even got better. Another person who replied in the Drift Chat Discord was Drift Chat himself. So the short of it was that a few of us ended up, I think it was five of us, we ended up staying in, so where the DriftMasters event was the Power Park. Don't make fun of my accent. It's basically a big like theme park. It's like Center Parks on crack. It's insane. And roller coasters. There's like it's a go-kart track, and it's rated like one of the best in the world or something, but they run the drift cars on it. Class. And he had premium accommodation within this venue. So a load of us stayed there. We had our own sauna in the place. It was like this really nice wee log cabin. I didn't have to leave the track ever. And like, nobody asked for it. Like, they didn't ask for any money for it. Like, everyone, like, so overall, I think Finland was my standout moment, really, because, and I made a video on it at the time, because I wanted to chat about how accommodating people in drifting are. And even saying that, I know people now will be thinking, well, like, you'll have examples yourself of how good people have been, or like, there's the old one of, like, say someone's car breaks, the first people to fix it will be the one that they're going out to battle with. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just something about drifting, and that was like, I could have cried. Like, it was just, I was ready to just be like, listen, I can't go, that's it, we'll just not, whatever. Like, it was a handling, it was you know, it was just an unfortunate situation, like, but the fact that people were like, no, don't be silly. It was class. So yeah, getting to stay with Black Smoke Racing, something else. And staying with the lads, like, we're all friends now. Like, I chat away to them all the time. Like, yeah, just, there's so many people I could shout out and thank and the whole thing. And like, it was, again, I could do a whole episode just on that. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I'll make it. I don't know. We'll see. So that was that. That was class. I don't know if I'm reading this right. Zyga Media, ZYGHA_media, says, how on earth did you manage to pull it off? I'm guessing from your own pocket. No, thankfully not. I would be broke. So, working with drivers, working with different sort of like companies and whatnot. To be honest, like, not to toot my own horn, working my ass off. So this time last year, when we had just finished shooting in Poland in the final of DriftMasters, I remember being like, lads, I'd love to shoot a full season, but I don't know how. Like I don't know how I'm gonna afford it, or like who to work for, or how to do it. And yeah, like there's more I could chat about. I don't want to make this first episode too long. And if you're still like if you're listening this long, fair play to you. Um, but yeah, working really hard. And don't get me wrong, like I could sit and say, oh, it was all me. Like I worked so hard. Like there's a lot of that. A lot of it's also like you could say luck. Like there's a lot of good opportunities from good people. Like I've worked with the right people who know the right people who introduce you to the right people. But what I will say, like I don't want to make it like, again, I don't want to sound arrogant. I don't want to say, oh, it was all me. But I think there's something to be said about showing up. Like you don't, you can't, those kind of opportunities that were given to me, they were great, but like you don't get them without showing up. So I'm a wee bit, I am kind of proud of that. Do you know what I mean? Like there's been a lot of work over this year and it's been really fun. But yeah, how did I pull it off? Yeah, working for different people, working really hard. And like running it tight as well. Like it's not, as I say, it's not all glitz and glam. Like some of it is staying in a shitty hotel, or it might be like a rough out Airbnb. But I kind of like, you'd be tired enough you could sleep anywhere anyway. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Flan's visuals, as Rory says, how did you get into filming drifting? Again, Jesus, that could be an entire episode in itself. I can't remember if I've even said this already, but basically the short of it was this time last year, I went, no, sorry, not this time, it was last year, Drift Games Spring Bash. I went down shooting for a company that, like, they asked me to do a bit of media and stuff. I was like, great, that'll do. I'd never been to drifting before. I knew about it. I'd always sort of seen it, and, you know, I grew up watching Tokyo Drift, the usual crack. It was always around that. But I'd never actually, like, seen it in the flesh. And Jesus, but sure, wasn't my mind just blown wide open. It was class. And that was just a bash. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the bashes. They're so much fun. Some of the driving there, as you've maybe seen me posting recently, is just daft. But like, it's not a competition. It's not the biggest drift event in the world. Like, they're not, you know, big DriftMasters level sort of things. So even that blew my mind. So you can imagine, like, for example, my first time in Riga, seeing the big entry there, I mean, like, how do you even compute that? So basically, yeah, from there, it turned into working with different companies, and like even sending emails, pestering people to be like, let me work with you, let me work for you, whatever it was. And yeah, like just like driving a lot. Don't get me wrong. I was doing 1,200-1,500 miles a week sometimes. And I was driving all over Ireland doing the Irish Drift Series or Irish Drift Championship as it was last year. And I was going to England and I was going, like, I mean, like, so much stuff. So again, I could nearly do an episode on that alone, but I'm conscious of time. But yeah, like a lot of it was good opportunities from good people. So don't ever let me say that it was like, oh sure, it was all me working really hard, because that's not always the case. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of good people in this world in general, but see around drifting, there, oh my god, there's so many. That's why I do it. Like the drifting itself is class, but the people, that's where it is. Let me see. We have a few more. Now, first and last name photography, my good friend Jared. In fact, before I even get to his question, I'll tell you the funny story of how we met. So, was it July last year? It was Riga last year anyway. And I sent a text into the DriftMasters media chat to say, listen, has anyone any sunscreen? Like I'm ginger, I'm burning up here. It was roasting like Riga's, see in the summer. And Jared replied saying, yeah, I've got you. I'm in the media centre here. And we've been the best of pals ever since. He came over here this summer, stayed for 3 weeks. Fuck, I thought he was never going to leave. But like, that's the kind of friendships you're dealing with. And we've been in some shenanigans this year. Like he did a lot of the Irish Drift Series, which he like, I'm so glad that he did, because he was like so excited about it. I was so excited to show him. I got to show him around the Drift Games Clubhouse, which was class. Like we've done so much fun stuff. And all just from that one wee text of like, has anyone got any sun cream? Class. But his question is, what would you do differently next time? Nothing. absolutely nothing, because I would make all the same mistakes again. For this year to be what it was, I would make all the same mistakes again, quite happily. Because, for a start, I've learned from them. Like this, like, see, for next year, there's loads of things I want to do to improve, like, even like, to improve my work. Because I'll always say I always want to learn. I'm always keen to learn, to improve. Like, I'll be asking other photographers, other videographers, other editors, whatever, like, what are you doing differently? I'll be like watching, whether it's watching tutorials, whatever, like, there's so much to learn, and that's what I enjoy. And if anything, that's what keeps it interesting. Because I think, see, if you like plateau, or you were to say, well, sure, I'm all right at this now, like, that's boring to me. I want to improve. I want to be better, for my own content, for other people's that are paying me, whatever it is. There's loads. So yeah, in general, I wouldn't change a lot, because I enjoyed it so much. Like, we had so much fun with so many different people. So yeah, I hope that answers that one okay. And a good one, and again, I do, this is one of the things that is in my notes app. I do want to make even a wee series on the best way to get into motorsport / drifting media. Now, realistically, I can only really chat about drifting, because it tends to be a bit more forgiving. So, so it's mad. Like, I'm sitting here in front of me are all these lanyards, all these wristbands, all these like high vises and stuff of some of the biggest drift events on earth that I've had the privilege to shoot at. But could I get into a single event of the World Rally Championship, for example? Nah, not a mission. Like, there's so many other motorsports, even that might have like lesser viewers than DriftMasters, for example. Some of them are really, really strict. Like, you need to prove that you're shooting for a publication or for a team or a driver, whatever. But for drifting, how to get into it, typically, even for national championships, you need to have public liability insurance. It's typically needs to be worth €5 million or so. Now, don't be put off, and don't be going, you'd hear that and think, oh my God, like, I can't afford that. And I did as well. See, now, for everything, including the public liability insurance, business insurance, the whole thing, I pay maybe €25 a month, something like that. It's not awful, and it's obviously well worth it. In terms of the actual sort of experience, so like, obviously one of the things they're going to ask if you're applying, they'll ask for your track experience, and if you don't have a lot of track experience, then shadow someone. Like, go to wherever your local track is. Obviously, it might be different. Somewhere like Mondello Park is really, really good if you're in Ireland, because, like, for media access, realistically, I always say to people, if they're down with me or whatever, and they're just like spectating or whatever, you can see everything I can see. There might be a fence in the way. You can probably point your camera through it. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's still loads you can do. And there are people who go down and shoot without media access. They'll just shoot like through the fence or whatever, and they're still great. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's loads you can do. So again, there's a series I'd like to do on that, because I want to try and help people, oh, excuse me. Yeah, I want to try and sort of help people, because it's a fun thing to do, like this whole line of work. But if I can help people get into it, then by all means, yeah, like, it's a big party and you're invited. I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely a case of like just getting that kind of experience, and also, like, I don't know that you don't have to be the absolute best in the world, because I certainly am not, and I will never claim to be. But I think learning the basics it will do you a load of favors anyway. But, like, learn your equipment, because, like, even now I'm still learning about, different sort of functions and features and whatnot. And, like, there's always more to learn, because, the software that we use, for example, is always updating. There's always more. So yeah, I don't know where else to go with that one, because I don't want to just bombard you with information and make this just a whole informative thing. Again, like there I said, sure, this will be about 20 minutes. We're not at 40 minutes. So if you're still listening, listen. Fair play to you. But, oh, excuse me, cheapers. But I've enjoyed this anyway. As I say, there was a couple of runs there I did where I sat and pressed record, and Jesus, I near bored myself. And I thought, no, this isn't what I want, and this is not what I'm capable of. Does that make sense? You know, I know I can chat and muck. But anyway, yeah, I think we'll cut her there, as I said about 20 minutes ago. I'll hopefully be chatting to you soon anyway. What do you see? I'll hit stop, and then everything will have not worked, or there'll be something, and I mean, everything's still recording here, so it looks good. It's quite a nice wee, like, I'm pleased with this wee setup in terms of ergonomics. Right, I'm going to stop myself there. Right, listen, good luck. I will chat to you soon enough, and follow me on whatever socials, if you don't already, Matt Dobbs Media, and you'll see some absolute muck there. And as I say, we're doing bits and pieces with my own car. We're always doing fun drift stuff. We're doing fun stuff with drivers. Yeah, I'm very excited. So next week, hopefully we'll have a wee guest on. It could be something interesting. But sure, look, who knows? That's part of the experience. The Matt Dobbs experience. Hey, so it's all come full circle. Listen, right, good luck. I'll see you later. Goodbye. That'll do it. Cheers now.